Unfortunately, the touch-off probe does not work right now, so let's go through a quick review of how to manually set the work home point. There's a set of instructions that I printed off. I covered up the part about the actual touch-off probe because it doesn't work. So we'll go through the manual portion. The first step to manually set the work home point is to use the arrow keys and roughly place the bit over top of that bottom left-hand corner. Doesn't have to be perfect, just so it's close. All right, next comes the fun part. Not all of you may have been trained on this, but if you go up here to Wizards and Tools, click, and then go down to Mobile Jog Widget. This will bring up a QR code and a website that you can navigate to. As long as your phone is on the same Wi-Fi network as the computer, that is the Area 515 network, not the guest network, the Area 515 network. This phone doesn't have a built-in QR code reader, so I had to type it in. But when you go to that site, you'll find a jog widget on your phone. Bring this over here. All right, and let's switch to, okay, we're on incremental jog. I like millimeter mode. Go down to 1 millimeter as we get closer. Don't worry so much about Z when we're doing the manual, because all we're worried about is X and Y. Remember, X is this way, Y is this way. So we're going to position the bit directly over top this bottom left-hand corner. And you're wanting the center of the bit, not the outside of the bit. So, okay, that looks good enough for my purposes for the X-axis. So I'm going to press Set X0. So now this is the 0 point along the X-axis. All right, now let's go the Y-axis. Going to still use this. Pretty close. I might go down to 0.1 millimeters. There we go. Now I'm going to set 0, or set the Y 0. Ta-da! So now we have the X and Y homed. So now we need to do the Z axis. And for that, we're going to need a piece of paper. Voila! With the power of editing, I now have a piece of paper. Rip a little tiny section off. You don't need more than that. You can also, if you want, use a tiny bit of aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is technically thinner than the paper, but they're both so thin it practically doesn't really matter either way. Now using the widget, go ahead and move the bit over top some portion of your workpiece, just like wherever the top is going to be. Okay, once you got it over top, next you're going to start bringing it down. That's plenty close. Definitely going to switch over to 1 millimeter at this point. Okay, moving this closer. Now what you're going to do is you take this little piece of paper, slide it underneath the bit, and you're going to start moving it back and forth. If I can get both of these in the frame. All right, so I'm going to slowly lower the Z-axis until the paper starts catching underneath the bit. Oh, definitely caught. Going back up 1. Now I'm going to go to the 0.1 millimeters, incremental jog, and step down again. Come on. Almost. There, definitely there. So now I'm going to have this be the 0 point for the Z-axis. And with that, You have now set the work home point. Ooh, I was today years old when I discovered not to press disconnect on the jog widget, because if you do that, it disconnects the computer from the CNC, not the phone from the computer. Good to know.